Oh, we got a lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. 3.9 going back to the PTU. I've got a lot to say about 3.9, and you're going to want to strap in. For those of you that want to stay, buckle up. More after these messages. Today's video has been brought to you by the generous patrons of DG360 who make continued content possible. DG360 patrons enjoy monthly giveaways like Star Citizen packages, Steam gift cards, and any game that you want giveaways. Please consider donating $1 if in any way you enjoy DG360 content. And let me preface this video with the fact that I was going to put some type of Humphrey Bogart Casablanca quote and call this the 3.9 Play It Again Sam patch, but apparently in this version of Earth, that never happened. Also, interestingly enough, the Monopoly man with a monocle does not exist in this timeline, in this reality. It did in mine when I grew up, and it was the Bernstein Bears, not the Bernstein Bears, but apparently I'm wrong there by a vowel. So it's a little disconcerting, although this still is the reality that I'm living in, where there are the Jackson 5. Apparently there's another one where there's the Jackson 6. Psh, don't get me talking about the Mandela effect. It's a little bit scary. Let's talk about Star Citizen and 3.9. Yes, going back to the PTU, let's talk a little bit about the issues that we've been having with 3.9. We're going to go over a poll at the end of this video where our community voted on what they think about 3.9. Obviously, there were some problems with it, a lot of problems with it. They push it out too fast. That's why they're going to put 3.9 back to PTU phase. Cloud Imperium wanting to focus on persistence, character resets, alpha AUC stability, and character state stability. The problems, people not being able to get their ships. That's a pretty big problem. We always talk about the stability and performance of the experience that we get, whether we're veterans or whether we're new players coming to the game. It's very important to have these good experiences to keep us hooked in. Yes, this is alpha, but that excuse is getting a little long in the tooth, although, hey, it's still an alpha. Ugh, it gives me a headache every time I have to say that, because it's just, at this point, 8 years in, it is getting long in the tooth. Problems that we're having in 3.9. Okay, so we said people not being able to get in their ships, people having trouble getting off of Microtech, Arena Commander and Star Marine appear to be a focus in this testing phase, where people are not able to switch their ships in Arena Commander. Star Marine, why even worry about it at this point? Why even worry about Star Marine at this point? I mean, it's ridiculous. Star Marine is a horrible experience. Theaters of War, I think, is going to be right around the corner. We talked a little bit about that with the Info Runners and Seer. That should be coming out very soon on Info Runners channel. I'm going to have them on the podcast as well. We're going to talk a little bit about Theaters of War. Very interested in having a much more fluid and good locomotive experience. Because I'm a huge BR kind of FPS guy, and I'm really looking forward to Theaters of War and the data that we can get to have better experiences with FPS. On Friday, I had Devin streaming with me, and we talked about that as well, because he's a big COD guy, and we talked about how kind of janky it is right now to have an FPS kind of BR experience. So Theaters of War, I think, will iron that out, and I do think the timing is right, and I think that's right around the corner with Sean Tracy working on that. Multi-tool in Klesher Prison doesn't come with a bit attachment. That's huge. So you're in the commissary, you got the multi-tool, but no bit attachment. So you're trying to work out the legit way through mining, but you can't do it because you don't have a bit. Come on, guys. That's dropping the ball. That's a fumble. That's a huge fumble right there. So, you know, here's another one. Dying or leaving the prison gives you a black forever loading screen. That has happened to me. And it's no fun. It breaks the immersion. You log back out, you log back in, you hope to God you're loading back up. It's no fun. Fixes that are going to be that have happened now in the PTU is no invisible characters are unusable. I didn't even know this was a problem. Some people are having invisible or unusable characters. That is a ridiculous problem to have at this point. And 3.9 and people having invisible characters or unusable characters. I'm not even quite sure what that would entail. That would be a horrible experience for those of you that have those problems. I'm sorry. And I'm not going to use the excuse it's an alpha, because we are in 3.9. For God's sake, this should not be happening again. You know, my experiences right now with Star Citizen is that, you know, like, my persistence has remained relatively in a good state. Like, as far as my money, my AUC is concerned, I still have the same amount. My items, I still have the same items. I have not had those problems. So my personal experience has been very stable in that regards. But having an invisible character, come on. Come on, no excuse at this point. Players no longer spawn with players were having an issue apparently in 3.9 where they would spawn without your Moby glass. All right, I can't even. The alpha AUC should remain constant. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. People who are trading and into the industry, they want to make sure that the work that they put in, that money remains, their account balance remains. That's a big deal, and that should be a focus. And some people would argue that, you know, it's just something that's not that big of a deal. I think that is a big deal. That reflects the hours that you put into the game. Now, let us get into the poll that we had here. I normally do something like this on stream, but I just wanted to put this in the video. Here's the question I posed about 4 days ago. Only 200 people voting, not a lot of people voting. Don't know what's going on out there. Is this thing on? What's going on, guys? Probably because content's been a little slow on the station. The YouTube algorithm sucks because you got to put everything out every single day. Every single day. Oh, thanks, YouTube. Anyhow, how many of you are happy with the Star Citizen 3.9 alpha patch? I would love to hear your views and constructive criticisms. Let's see here. This is huge. The thing that stands out to me is this. There's 36% of people that say 3.9 performance and stability issues outweigh the new places. Now, first off, I love New Babbage, okay? I love the new club. Whoever designed the club should get a raise. I think that is just an amazing, you guys saw that on stream here when 3.9 dropped and I was the first wave to hit the PTU. I had a wonderful time exploring it. I think New Babbage is absolutely stunning, fantastic. I think Cleo is one of my new favorite moon. So the moons were awesome. We went everywhere. We had a great time on stream with our fans here. But 36% of people, over a third of people, are saying that the performance and stability issues are so bad that they cannot appreciate or enjoy these new places. That there's so much work put into this, and the experience they had negatively impacted them. That's a large percentage of people. Over a third of the people polled here are saying this. I think it's pretty relative. If we had a larger sample, you'd see somewhere around a 30% number. I just have the feeling that's how it would work out statistically. Damon says happy, but pushed out too soon. Absolutely, Damon. Completely agree with you, man. Number one concern, if we want more gameplay, should be the persistence and server meshing should be the number one concern. I do agree with you. I do agree with you. Also, again, I think that the player-to-player, wall-to-wall transactions should be a thing. I don't think that's too hard to implement at this point. Erats is not happy at all. It's broken AF. I even need to reset my account. Out of all the hours I could play with it, I only had one good play session, is saying Erat. One. We're gonna heart that, man. You know, you know, like I said, now that the hype train has left, and I'm standing at the station, the train is gone, and I've been to all the new places. We get back to the core game mechanics, the flight experience, FPS version experience, the AI, these things, these design, these very core game mechanics need to be worked on, flushed, and ironed out, especially with Squadron 42 around the corner. Talked about that with Infrarunner and Seer on Infrarunner show. You should be seeing that very soon. Eagle says, I've not played it as someone that follows the project looking in. It wasn't enough to bring me or my friends in. So, you know, Eagle's somebody who's been playing for a while. He's trying to bring some new friends in. His friends were not hooked into because 3.9's performance stability was just so bad that you couldn't get new people. Now, talk about the numbers though. You look at the Star Citizen tracker, you're seeing $200,000 being brought in every single day. 2020's trailblazing right now. It's looking better than 2019, and with no new ship sales. Again, talk about that with Execute from Infrarunners and Seer on a show, and I'm going to be having them on the podcast as well for the weekend. Hopefully that would be a lot of fun. You guys aren't going to want to miss that, who are VIP members. Killian says, sadly I wasn't able to play as much. By the way, let's give a heart there to Eagle. I always love people who participate. Killian says, sadly I wasn't able to play as much. Would have liked to do real life stuff, but despite live version launch hiccups, I didn't experience too many bugs. Probably because you didn't play a while, Killian. Had you been playing more, you probably would have had a little bit more of these bugs. But he's still very disappointed about all the things that should have been in 3.9. Economy screens. Oh, by the way, I got to show this to you guys. Boom, Jake from SIG. Okay, we're actually spending a lot of effort visualizing the amount of data that Quantum generates. This is talking about things back from CitizenCon with Tony Z economy panel, where he's calling this the quantum, this algorithm, this equation that's going to be involved in simulating a real life supply demand economy. It's no small task. Martin has been working on visualizing this data in many ways to identify oddities and trends in the way that the economy moves. Now, this statement makes me feel as if they're having a little bit more issues than they should. You know, this is something that's a coding thing. We're talking about giving us an equation that simulates the real supply demand economy, taking away kind of the power from the individual player, like a player driven economy, which I'm much more for, but people feel like that, you know, oh my gosh, she's going to manipulate the market, you know, people are going to, it's going to be crazy because people are going to find exploits and manipulate things. And that's just, that's a little bit of Care Bear talk, you know, when we get into that, but I won't get into that. Anyhow, this information would be entirely possible to show up on in-game screens and TDDs, which is something I've said on numerous occasions that I would want, but we have no plans to do that yet. Well, I say in my response that, you know, hey, let's put it in the plans. Let's put it in the plans. I would love to see the quanta or the economy, what's happening, the coding that they're putting into this game, giving us that simulative supply demand experience, and then seeing it on these TDD screens, the trade division screens, where you're going into Area 18 and Microtech and other places that have a TDD, and you're seeing these screens. I want the information to be relative and reflect on those screens. So let's put it in the plans. Let's just do it. Now, I understand, again, economy 1.0, I get it. We're not even close to being there yet. They haven't even instituted quanta the way that it should be instituted. We only have one system. Again, we're nowhere near where we need to be in regards to putting that as something to be on the priority list. Much more concerned about wall-to-wall transactions. So anyhow, he is saying the VAG is still missing, which is the value-added gameplay for people that are new to the channel, and I absolutely agree with you, Killian. Ronan says, I enjoyed the patch to be sure, but now I can't get in. Okay, that's huge. Breaking. That's heartbreaking. That's heartbreaking. I'm sorry, Ronan. That's just not good. That's just not good. Soul, how you doing? Soul, good to see you, hun. Solaris says, I imagine with this polling you have opened up Pandora's box. Absolutely. That's what I do, and I will tell you that right now. That's what I do. This is what I do. J-Dubs, Jay, it's been too long, bro. Gotta have you back on the podcast, man. Honestly, I haven't played it much with the widescreen bugs. That was kind of a killer from the get-go. Not mad about it. I can wait till 3.9.1 and hopefully more bugs will get fixed. He's very laid back. Would be nice to get more gameplay loops this year. Some love to the non-criminal gameplay would be nice. Not everyone always wants to be a pirate, but it's like I said, the podcast and Sig said on ISC, moving these patches and fixes around, trying to compile it all when everyone is remote is a cluster. Yes, with COVID, we're seeing a downshift. Absolutely. That's understandable. You know, I know I'm pushing them. It's because I'm very passionate about this project, but we have to take that into account. People are home now. Things have changed. Reality is now different. So there is a downshift. I think we're out of the downshift phase. I think we're going to kind of gear it back up here as far as the people getting back to normal. We'll see. Hopefully, I hope we don't see another big spike with people going out a little prematurely. Perhaps. I don't even want to talk about it right now. It gives me a headache. Hammer Dookie says 3.8 was much more stable for me. Absolutely was, Hammer Dude. Absolutely was. I like the new stuff a lot when I can stay in long enough to get it. Boom. And that's the general consensus. That's like Hammer says, that is the general consensus. Jonathan says, I love the new locations and music. Absolutely love the new music. Great to see that Star Citizen Live with Pedro. I really like that episode. Pedro is an artist. I think his music is amazing. He only crashed once, but I'm gonna play maybe an hour every other day. Okay. Yep. That's probably why, Jonathan. But good for you, man. Somebody with better experiences than the majority of us. iExploit, what's going on, bro? In need of content. I was hyped in 2018 and pledged a lot of money. Let's see how Sig can pull me back into the spell. Absolutely, dude. It is their responsibility to keep people hooked and entertained. I mean, that's the lifeblood. Mr. Dashin says the new content is great, but for the same old bugs, plus a few new ones are really getting out. It's getting to him. Dashin's saying it's getting to him. Zero Cool says not been able to get on or off the train at New Babbage. Yes, I've been seeing the duplicate train happening. The trains are awesome. They're like roller coasters. I'm having a good time with those trains. Like those tube trains, man. Those maglev trains. Absolutely love them. Awesome. But we're seeing a duplicate in one of the tunnels towards this towards the hangar, towards the space docks. It bugs me. It's just terrible. Anarchy, what's going on, dude? Anarchy burger. I feel patch 3.9 was all right ingredients to make a great burger. The one thing they could have tied the whole thing together is a special sauce. It could have tied it all together. He says he needs some special sauce for that succulent bite. Overall, the goodies and eye candy that I saw in 3.9 are amazing. New Babbage moves, but stability is like having a chicken sandwich without any pickles, man. That's not right. That's not right. Absolutely, Anarchy. What's up, Hutch? Hutch says it's a bit buggy. Mostly the prison mining. That's exactly what we talked about here at the beginning of the video, Hutch. Yep. I do realize I'm in the minority of players not having issues. I don't know, man. I don't know, Hutch. I think there's a lot of players having issues with 3.9, dude. He's being very positive. God bless him. Kodiak says, I'm enjoying the new content and local desync seems to be way down, but the 30Ks are too high. Broken features are a major issue, says Kodiak. Scanning not working, shields not working, not having the prison system working. Players can actually work to get out of prisons. You can't get out because there's no binding bit attachment, for God's sake. These are needed for 3.9.1, and this is why I'm making this video, you know, is to let people know that we're going to get a better version. Thank God that they're working on this now to get these experiences elevated. You know, the new places, A+. You know, the new places, A+. Core game mechanics stability, these performance issues that we're having just went down. Like D. I'm being mean here. I'm saying like D. I'm grading it a D right now. So hopefully they can elevate that to at least a C experience. It always seems like the PTU version is a better version than the PU version, which is absolutely backwards. Absolutely. Quid, what's going on, Quid? I always love Quid's logo, dude. The most basic functions like opening up the Moby glass are inconsistent. Inconsistencies, no good. I have played every day this week. Cutlass is in unknown land. Freelancer, unknown land. Moby glass broke, stranded, got stuck in New Babbage into trams. You know, this is exactly how this experience has been for many of us, myself included. Snow Fox, what's going on, Fox? Thanks, Quid. Snow Fox says, other than the bugs that crept up after it went live and was out of PTU, which I find quite odd, 3.9 still fun to fly around in. Even more beautiful than 3.8. Absolutely agree. Let's talk about the actual art. It was really nice. Like the artist, the amount of work that was put into these places. We've just been on the floor like, wow, amazing. But that's all you should be doing. Trying to trade now is like playing Russian roulette with your money, and it shouldn't be. You know, it should be to a degree, but not because of bugs. It should be Russian roulette because of the threat from pirates. Let's get real. Let's get serious here. That's why it should be Russian roulette, but it shouldn't be Russian roulette because of game design and bugs. And don't give me that alpha thing. Just don't do it. Most missions are still broken and space mining is borked. There are a few quality of life improvements that most people have looked like being able to store your ship after landing. That friend system works really well. Love the new friend system. The little simplest features are really what elevates the experience. This new friend feature, I love it. I'm even loving the wheel. I'm even loving the inner thought wheel. I really am. And your insurance now covers components so you won't lose them on death anymore. Hopefully 3.10 is more stable with less issues. Yeah, I think they're labeling it 3.10, not 3.9.1 now that I think about it. That was my mistake in the initial part of this video. It's not like going to be 3.9.1. I think it's going to be 3.10. David Bland, stepbrother of David Blaine, famous magician. Maybe I've been super lucky, but I have not lost one of them since 3.9. Wow. I don't know how much David played, but you can see he is the stepbrother of David Blaine because he's having magical experiences right there. Jeff Worthen says, not happy at all, but I do understand it's alpha. Okay, yes. 3.5 was horrible. Wow, it's been a while, Jeff, if you're talking about 3.5. So he's coming into 3.9. He's probably like a whole new world. I love the game and will continue to support it. Absolutely, Jeff. Absolutely. I think, you know, most of us hardcore ones will continue to support this game because of the potential that it shows. Some people always yelling scam citizen, but this is a real thing. There are a lot of people involved in this, and it's not as simple as just shouting out scam citizen. This is not a scam. This is a real thing. It is very transparent to a degree. And that's why I do focus on financials as well. Zell says this patch is an utter disappointment. It gives me serious thoughts that this project will never actually be completed. That's huge coming from Zell. That's huge. And the quality of this patch is just terrible. I have not been able to play for over 30 minutes without a bug or a disconnect or a game-breaking bug. I'm extremely disappointed, and basically every aspect of patch previous bugs that I thought they would fix are still here with a host of new bugs. The bugs have formed a union together to destroy me every time. There is no escaping these bugs. Very frustrated, so I understand, bro. I completely understand. Lou Hodo 3.9 has been a hot mess. They killed PvP piracy and any form of piracy. Turned the game into a PvE grind fest. I've personally set a goal of 1,000 homicides without going to. That's funny, Lou. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I mean, like the law system is in baby origin phase right now. You know, it's in 1.0 phase with the law system and the prison system, but I expect that to be more robust. I expect that to build up over the time. So don't worry, Lou. I really think we're going to see that pirate gameplay that some people really want to see. And I think the law system and the way it was detailed by Tony Z is fantastic, and we will see that continue to become better. So don't worry, Lou. We'll get what we want, man. Oh my goodness, Ted. Look at what he wrote for us. He wrote us a book. Okay, DG, you might want to pre-read this for summary in the video. Sorry, dude. I didn't get to it ahead of time. Otherwise, I would. Oh, he's talking about food. So we can talk a little bit about the new weather and survivor-based mechanics. Love them. I should have talked about that much earlier on in the video, because there's so many people that didn't get to this portion of the video. But the survivor-based, and you'll see people yelling at me, here, dude, what about the survivor? What about the weather? I said it. It's 20,000 minutes into the video. But anyway, I love that. I love that. We were talking about that in 2015. We were theory crafting that way before even the ideas were out there. And we were just talking about what we wanted to see out of the gameplay. And, you know, it's very great to see your outside temperature, your inside body temperature, your blood pressure on there, and how thirsty you are, how hungry you are. These are great things that are added into the game. Anyway, it looks like he's talking about trading a little bit. He wants a little bit more balance. It seems like it's a little bit more industrial based in nature. And I'm so sorry, Ted. It's just a little too long, bro. It is just, and I love you, Ted. He's from Aurora. He's one of my favorite orgs out there. And I'm so sorry. I'm gonna hard it. I'll come back to it, and hopefully I'll be able to read that on the next vid, bro. But there are so many other comments here that I gotta get through right now, and that one is absolutely huge. Maybe we can get to it. It looks like there's only 4 more. Let's finish up with these 4 and hook you back up, Ted. Wint says, I am not bothered by the bugs compared to Evo patches. It is a dream. What does concern me is the now consistent light patches in terms of new content over the last half year. We were talking about this on Info Runners with Execute and Seer, and hopefully you'll be able to see that episode soon. And we were talking about how, like, one patch should be all based on bringing in all the new game design and all the new game mechanics, and then the follow-up patch should be the quality of life patch that kind of soothes it and smooths it out. If we saw this kind of implementation through staggered development, I think we would have much better experiences, Wind. So I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's something that I did talk about on Info Runners. What does concern me is the now consistent light patches in terms of new content over the last half year, not including planets and locations who always deliver. AI and gameplay mechanics have been lacking. Absolutely. I mean, you nailed that, Wind. Absolutely. Home run. Grand slam. Absolutely. Those are the issues. Must do more, Cloud Imperium. And, you know, we do have to keep in mind that everybody is home right now with this freaking corona. All right. So that is happening. So we're going to see a slowdown. I think we're going to see a slowdown. I think we're out of the downshift phase. I think you're going to start seeing things gear back up. Let's see here. Not including planets and locations who always deliver. They do. AI and gameplay mechanics have been lacking. Absolutely. So you have one end of the spectrum where they're bringing out all the new art, all the new design and features that you're seeing in terms of the eye candy looks fantastic. They got it down. But when it comes to the meat and potatoes, the gameplay, the mechanics, the AI, they've been lacking. So I get it. Although probs I have to wait till Squadron 42 launch. Oh, Squadron 42. Just talked about that on a video. I do believe we're going to see Squadron 42 come out on console and a huge revenue boost for Cloud Imperium for doing so. So I'm actually hoping that's in the cards. Sab Normal, what's up, dude? By the way, Win, thanks, bro. Sab Normal says from 3.8.2 to 3.9 change, I lost 500,000, and after hotfix, another 165,000. But I didn't lose anything from my purchase in game armor, weapon ships, and guns. I play fixed guns with Saber and I enjoy it like the old time. Dude, I miss the Saber before they nerfed it. I really do, man. And we're going to talk about a video I'm going to be getting into about shield holes and the shields in general. So that's in the cards as well on the channel here. So stay tuned for that as well. Nick's Imation says, I have hit 2 mission breaking bugs and multiple 30Ks. Pretty annoying, but the persistence to keep my money really motivates me to play more. Prisons are cool, but could be fleshed out a little bit more. There's now a reason to visit Microtech with its moons in and NB plus missions. I've also never had a better frame rate before. So yeah, I mean, the frame rate's been good for a long time now for most people. It's always high no matter where I am. Previously it would go down to single digits. I remember those days. Now they seem to be doubled. So people, it looks like people have not played for a while, are coming in and saying, wow, this is like a whole new game and I'm having a better time. So, you know, in that regards, you know, people are having better experiences who haven't played forever and coming and hopping back in. Damon is commenting again. Oh, Damon says, I like it, but want more. Who doesn't? It has bugs, but it's alpha. Oh, Damon, you shouldn't have said that. No, I'm just teasing. Years don't matter. Only working features. I mean, that's debatable, Damon. If it's 60% done, it's buggy and unfinished. Expect the same stability and crashes as riding a plane 60% done. All right, I'm gonna give you heart for that, but I'm not gonna settle. I'm not gonna settle, Damon. You're not gonna get me to settle, dude. Let's go back to Ted's here, and then we'll end the video. For those of you who have watched thus far and still in it, you guys rock. Thank you for being the biggest fans, the most hardcore fans. You're amazing. Thank you. Ted says, okay, DG, you might want to pre-read this summary in the video. It's long, but I couldn't trim it any leaner, and the meat is in the middle and the end. I have never been closer to saying I quit until... Oh boy. Oh, Ted, I'm glad I came back to yours, man. Ted, woo, the Ghost Carrick era, hurricane force winds everywhere. We got food, but you can't keep it on your ship. Meanwhile, risk versus reward has gone straight to hell. Trade involves risking not only your current time, effort, and ship costs, it also involves a 4 to 5 time risk of your past efforts. You don't just lose the past hour of travel pickups. If you lose a cargo, that's your last 4 or 5 hours of work. And it doesn't matter if you are trading in pieces in a Pisces or a Caterpillar. It scales. Overall, your 20% profit margin means 80% of what you stand to lose is past earnings, but those commie bastards want to make it fair and balanced in terms of what a player can earn per hour in whatever path they choose. But if you own a Cutlass or Freelancer, you can make more money doing box missions, which is terrible. What? Yeah, Ted's getting me upset here. He's right. Combat missions. Anyway, risk-free yeah, I mean, move up to $150 and you can make it about as much as in a prospector as trading with an FL Max. Risk-free, move up to $230 Cotties. You can wipe the deck with claim jumpers and make more than you can use for ships for cargo, risk-free. Now you're at the Caterpillar level, and if not for bugs, you jump into a world of major income. The geometric curve gets broken. Crazy income, and I think that's what I was talking about, Ted. Why do anything else than get the Caterpillar and trade for the most AUC that you can? Absolutely, Ted. Why do you think the Caterpillar got ship of the year last year? Making the most cash. And you know, a lot of people were thinking, oh, it's going to be a boom ship. We're going to get a ship that's a big PvPer ship. But the flight experience isn't that great yet. And when it comes down to it, a lot of people are just flying around trying to get that AUC. And when it comes to that, it's the Caterpillar. Absolutely. the whole C, D, and E, so suddenly the carrot gets cut in half, which, yeah, right. So suddenly the carrot gets cut in half. The BMM will be cut by some unknown factor you can buy and sell. He's bringing up some amazing points. You can't cycle a cargo hold on those with anything larger than a 315p. Even if you can buy a decent amount, you have to make 3 or 4 stops to sell it, or go to the planet, take a train ride. It takes about as long as Ted, if I had another ability to give you another heart, I would absolutely do that. Everything SIG does cuts trade profit disparity, and now they have boosted other missions payouts by about 50% across the board. I've commented elsewhere. I met a guy just last night in the verse who was saying the same thing. I trade a year of new places and new features, maybe even new ships for a game that works. No 30k errors, no crashes without recovery, and no getting stuck in a wall. We're gonna leave it there. Ted was the exclamation point on this video. Ted, thank you. Golf clap for you, my friend. Thanks everyone for supporting this channel. Thank you, all of you. By the way, giveaway coming up very shortly for the month of May, and it's gonna be a good one. Love you guys. Love you, fam. I will see you on the next vid or stream.